Hello everybody and welcome back to Expert Examiner IELTS. My name is Glyn and in this video we're going to do some more writing feedback. Again, we have an IELTS writing task 2 academic essay, and as always we start by reading the question, analysing the question and thinking a little bit about how we should structure our answer. So let's have a look. Schools are no longer necessary. We don't need schools anymore. Why? Because children can get so much information available through the internet. That wording looks a little bit strange. I don't know if this is a real question or not. Looks a little bit strange, but okay. The idea is clear, right? We don't need schools anymore. Why? Because children can get all the information that they need on the internet. Cool. Or rather, so much information on the internet, and they can study just as well at home. So there are kind of 2 points there. Firstly, that there's so much information available on the internet, and secondly, that these kids can study just as well at home. So, you might want to address both of those points, perhaps. The question type is, to what extent do you agree? So, of course, with this, you can agree fully, you can agree mostly, you can partially agree, you can disagree mostly, you can completely disagree. I always think it's much easier for you, much easier for the candidate if you just pick a side. Do you agree or disagree? Much easier to deal with it that way. The introduction should be, some background information about, the theme of education or the availability of information online, some reference to the question, that there's this debate now whether kids actually need to go to school or not. And also in the introduction, I want to see the candidate's position. I want to know if the candidate completely agrees, completely disagrees, partially agrees, or is in the middle, or something like this. That's what I want to see in the introduction. If the candidate agrees with this statement that schools are no longer necessary, that we don't need schools, then body paragraph 1 will be, sets of reasons 1 why the candidate disagrees. Body paragraph 2, reason 2 why the candidate disagrees. So you have a lot of scope, a lot of ability to develop here. I like these do you agree or to what extent do you agree or disagree, because it allows you to develop your answers more fully than, discuss both sides of the argument where you're expected to squeeze too much information in. In the conclusion, then, we should get some quick summary of the candidate's main points and then maybe some extra comment. But let's have a look. I won't bore you too much by just talking about what I think should be in the text. Let's have a look at what the candidate has written. Okay, so first of all, just want to check the number of paragraphs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, fantastic. We have 4 paragraphs. Word count looks pretty good. Looks like 260, 270, 268. So yeah, on that 270, right in that golden zone. Balance looks nice. I like that the introduction and the conclusion, they are both shorter than our body paragraphs. That's all good stuff. But let's see the candidate's content. So, some think that there is no use of schools since anyone can obtain valuable education with the help of the internet and get the same level of knowledge at home. Okay, so we have a pretty direct paraphrase. I always think, it's nicer to have a bit of background information, not just a blunt, direct paraphrase, but okay, it's maybe not my favorite style, but okay, it's fine. There's no use of schools, no longer necessary, fine. Anyone can obtain valuable education. Okay, it's fine. Vocab pretty strong, accurate enough. Not sure, but there is no use of. Schools have no use, maybe no use to schools. Not quite sure of this of. It's a bit strange. But okay, that's minor. I understand what the candidate means. Okay, although the internet provides a variety of information, good and yeah. So first of all, just a small spelling mistake with variety, not a big problem. But although the internet provides a variety of information and a flexible schedule, there's a couple of problems here. Firstly, we should have a comma here, not a full stop. With although sentences, it's although clause, comma, clause. Although comma, not a full stop. And I'm not sure that the internet provides a flexible schedule. That you haven't done enough for the language there. Certainly, it provides a variety of information, but it doesn't make sense to say the internet provides a flexible schedule. Now, I can infer, I can guess that what the candidate means here is that when students or pupils study online, this would allow them to have a flexible schedule, but I'm not sure if it's quite right to say the internet provides a flexible schedule. Okay. So although I did completely disagree with the statement. Okay, nice. So, the candidate has offered a little bit of a concession here. Yeah, it does have nice information. Yeah, it can. Studying online can give you a flexible schedule, but I completely disagree with the statement. Cool, nice that I see your position here. All good stuff. Now I hope that you will spend the rest of the next two body paragraphs talking about the reasons why you disagree with the statement. First of all, good signposting language. Nice way to start. Let's see now if we get a nice topic sentence that really explains the main idea. Schools are designed to teach students according to their structured lessons. Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not great. Why can't kids just study online? Oh, because schools are designed to teach students according to their structured lessons. This is quite descriptive, just saying that they're designed to teach students, but I don't see an argument there. And from your first sentence in your paragraph, I really want to understand what your argument is. And I don't quite see it. But okay, it is clear that this well-planned method gives students more foreseeable results. No idea what foreseeable results are. No idea at all. Even though most students struggle with keeping up with some hard subjects, good. Struggle to keep up. Struggle to keep up is better here. They can struggle with keeping. I wouldn't say it's completely wrong, but struggle to keep is definitely better. They can achieve brilliant. I don't like this overly emotive. Exceptional is a great, cold academic word. Brilliant feels a little bit too emotive. Again, not a mistake, but not really according to academic style. They can achieve brilliant outcomes with the right training and dedication. Yeah, I just don't know really. I don't know how this really supports your argument. Okay. Schools also provide. Why? You have a whole paragraph to make your point here. We don't need to make two arguments. Because what are you going to put in your next body paragraph then? Okay, anyway. Schools also provide different kinds of tools in order to develop practical knowledge in children. So we get a new topic sentence. Does this make sense? Schools also provide different kinds of tools in order to develop practical knowledge in children. Cool. I like that as a topic sentence, especially when it comes to obscure themes. Cool. I like when it comes to. Big fan of when it comes to. Don't know about obscure themes. Do schools really, teach obscure themes with practical knowledge? I don't know what you mean there. What obscure themes are there in school? Thus, call the structured nature and practical environment. Okay, so we get a summary of the candidate's main points. So I don't know. It becomes repetitive now. Keep that summary of your arguments should be put in the conclusion, not in your body paragraph. Thus, the structured nature and practical environment of schools make them far more effective compared to the internet, which sometimes includes misleading information. Okay, you've made a little argument there, but you've just tagged it onto the end. You've just tagged it onto the end of the paragraph without really, you don't really go into detail there. So I don't love this body paragraph. Firstly, I think, you have time. Just stick to one simple idea. Also, I don't think you've done a good job of persuading the reader that schools are designed to teach students according to their structured lessons and why we need these structured lessons. I don't think, that could be a good argument. I just don't think it's supported why structured lessons are better, apart from the fact that you say, well, students achieve brilliant outcomes with the right training. Well, link that to the structured lessons. What is it about structured lessons that really help to get those outcomes? You just haven't done that. Um, okay, the different kind of tools to develop practical knowledge. You haven't given any examples of practical knowledge, like what practical knowledge they get or what practical training they get. You just say obscure themes, but I don't know what those obscure themes are. So you're not giving me details, unfortunately. So I'm not fully informed. I'm not sure where you're going to go with this. I guess you'll go first of all, second of all, or secondly. Yeah, nice, good stuff. But the only problem with this is you've said first of all, and then you've made one argument, and then you've made a second argument here. That should be secondly, and now you're going secondly here. So it's a bit strange that you give two different arguments here and then you go with secondly. So it's not very logical. Secondly, institutions are not only a source of education, but also they help children help children socialize at their early ages. Great topic sentence, and I absolutely agree. I do think schools are more about socialization than actually teaching. Cool. Good topic sentence. Clear, easy to understand. Very nice. Can you develop this? Children develop different social relationships, comma, which can be really important for their communication skills. Great. Can you give examples, maybe? Maybe these traits. Which traits? Being communicative is a trait, but communication skills. So I don't know, skills and traits are not quite the same, but okay. These traits enable individuals to work as a team, share opinions, and form strong networking. Form strong networking, build strong networks, maybe? Form strong networking. Yeah, I don't know. To illustrate, okay, research is uncountable. We don't use it with one piece of research or one study. Carried out, not carried. You don't carry research, you carry out research. There's always a debate here about, is it okay to make up statistics? I feel like you really don't need to, right? Candidates are not expected to know statistics and they're not expected to be able to cite research, and you certainly don't need to invent this research and point to it. Sometimes it can be okay. I personally don't like it. To illustrate, one research carried out in 2013, the biggest problem they have is not that the candidate cites the research, it's then that the findings from the research are always like bogus or oversimplified or really unrealistic. It's like something like, the one reason why obesity is such a common problem is sugar. One piece of research carried out in 2012 showed that just one spoonful of sugar helps you put on 200 kilograms. And it's like, yeah, you're just yeah, but let's see what this candidate says. One research carried out in 2013 shows the difference between students attending a school physically and those, I love this use of those, a couple of times I've had good substitution, and those taking part, not taking apart, taking part in online courses. Sure, okay, this makes sense so far. It was found that the former, the ones in school, got more sociable, got is not very academic here, just were. The former were more sociable and successful in networking. Yeah, it's a little bit basic, isn't it, as findings? But okay, that it does support your main argument. So you are certainly on topic. Good. For this reason, children should continue their path at schools. Okay, this second body paragraph is very, very strong. I am fully informed here. Fully informed in the second body paragraph. First body paragraph, there's too much going on, and I'm not fully informed. I'm, at best, partially informed. In conclusion, although it is true that the internet has an advantage in flexibility and mass database, it has an advantage in mass database. So these runoffs where you have, has da 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 and da 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 da, you don't quite link that well. It's true that the internet has mass database, or internet has an advantage in mass database. I'm not sure. Maybe it does have master. Yeah, I don't know. Just sounds a little bit strange. Comma, good. Schools offer more effective opportunities. Yeah, because you've summarized earlier in your body paragraphs, it doesn't really allow you much chance to summarize in the conclusion. So I would say, that sentence at the end, da 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 da, and this sentence here, these are your summaries, and that information should be put in the conclusion. These include well-prepared and progressive classes and connection-building possibilities. Okay, so yeah, that conclusion is a little bit weak just because that summarizing language that you used in the body paragraph should be in the conclusion. But okay, certainly not a bad attempt at all. Task response. I'm gonna go with a 6 just because I do feel like there are those omissions. I think if you can just improve this body paragraph, if you can get this body paragraph to be as good as this body paragraph, then you're looking at strong 7. At the moment, it's what I would say maybe a strong 6. Yeah, maybe probably a 6. Coherence and cohesion. I do think you have enough for the 7 here. You might even have enough for the 8. You have nice flow. It's clear that you have introduction, body paragraphs, conclusion. Cool. A lot of nice reference words like those and some believe. I like that. You have like although and even though, a nice variety of contrast as flexibly used. Cool. Other signposting language like first of all and secondly and in conclusion. All of this helps to bind this text together. Again, it's just whether things are presented in a logical way. This secondly, when you're actually talking about the third argument, because you have argument 1 here, and then you have argument 2 here, and then you go with secondly, that's not really that logical. And I don't think, this summarizing the language here and then summarizing the language, summarizing the arguments here and then summarizing the argument again in the conclusion, I don't think that's the best logical presentation. So that's what stops you from getting the 8, but 7 still very, very strong. Lexical resource. Lexical resource. There are some odd things like got isn't very academic. Carried is wrong. It should be carried out. Obscure themes, that's kind of strange. Foreseeable results, don't really know that. Spelling mistake with variety. But overall, I do think you make good use of language. The structured nature, practical environment, far more effective, maybe significantly more or substantially more, might look more academic, but okay. Traits isn't quite the right word, but communication skills, take part in, small mistake with the article, but okay. Attending school physically. So yeah, a lot of very, very strong vocab. Just the inaccuracy of quite a few vocabulary items pulls you down to a 7. I think you probably might have potential to get an 8 in lexical resource, but for me, it's closer to a 7. And then, of course, we get to grammatical range and accuracy. Okay, mispreposition here, but that's more about vocab. Misspelling, and that's more about vocab. Do have that problem with punctuation here, that it should be a comma, not a full stop. So that's one little grammatical error. Struggle to keep is probably better than struggle with keeping. That use of the infinitive. So slightly odd verb choice with verb form. Cool. Again, more nice complex sentences, especially when it comes to nice. Fairly accurate. Okay, problems with one research, thinking that research, not understanding countability and uncountability, which can be really difficult in English. Take heart in is a fixed expression, but that's not grammar, that's vocab. Got is not a grammatical mistake. So I think probably there is enough for an 8. I do think that you are very accurate. There is a decent range, and you are very accurate with only minor grammatical mistakes. You even have some nice compound adjectives there, which again is a mixture of grammar and vocab. We have this new term, lexicogrammatical features, which makes it much easier because the border between grammar and vocab isn't always obvious. You know, choosing the wrong preposition for many teachers, that's a grammar mistake. For other teachers, it's a vocab mistake. And I certainly feel, you know, because I feel like the writing probably is at 7. This task response is the only thing, you know, and I think it's just this one body paragraph. Fix that one body paragraph, and I think you will be absolutely fine. For me, I'm going to award the 7 here, and I think, you know, the candidate in the real test probably will get a 7 for writing, might get a 7.5. Will the candidate get an 8? I don't think so. Will the candidate get 6.5? It's possible, but for me, I think the candidate is, you know, around that low C1 level. Certainly feels, you know, just comparing this writing to the hundreds and thousands of students that I've had, it feels like it's at that C1-ish level. So yeah, good job. Well done. Just try to improve that task response, making sure that your arguments are clearer, simpler, and better developed. Yeah, 7, C1, well done. Yeah, I guess I will leave that there. Please do let me know if you disagree with any of my comments, or if you have any comments of your own. Also, if you would like your own writing check for your IELTS writing tasks, or if you'd like a free practice speaking test with feedback, then you can request this on my Telegram channel. A link to that channel will be given below. But I will leave it there for now. Have a wonderful evening and see you all soon. Bye bye.